Ever get the feeling blockchain is kind of stuck?
Stuck.
Yeah, it's always about to change everything, but it never quite
Ah, I see. Yeah.
gets there.
Yeah, it's that scaling problem, right? Like
Right.
trying to fit a, what's it called? A supercar engine
Oh, yeah.
into a tiny car. All that power, but
It can't go anywhere.
exactly. Can it handle the real world?
It's like we've got these amazing ideas, right? Like decentralized apps and new ways to own things digitally, but then bam, you hit a wall.
Yeah.
Can this tech actually handle millions of users all doing this stuff at the same time?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. And that's what we're diving into today. That's what this whole deep dive is about.
Okay, yeah.
We're talking about Flow blockchain and how they're tackling this
Right.
problem. We've got a stack of academic papers here
A stack, wow.
to help us. But first, for our listener who's maybe not
Yeah.
super deep into the technical weeds here, why is scalability such a problem for most blockchains?
Okay, so imagine like a global spreadsheet, right?
Oh, yeah?
One that everyone has a copy of,
Yeah.
and every time someone wants to make a change, every single copy has to verify it and update.
So it's like if one thing is wrong, the whole thing breaks.
Exactly. And that's fine if it's just you and your roommate.
Right.
But when you're talking about a global network, millions of transactions, it just grinds to a halt.
Blockchain gridlock.
Mm.
So what does Flow do differently? I keep seeing pipelined approach in these papers.
Yes, you hit the nail on the head. They've basically redesigned the whole system for efficiency.
Okay, so instead of one lane, we have...
Yeah, multiple lanes. It's like an assembly line.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
1909.05832v1.pdf, if you want to get technical.
We'll put that in the show notes, but break it down for us. Who's on this blockchain assembly line?
First up, you've got your collectors. Think of them like super organized librarians.
I like it, keeping things tidy.
Exactly. They gather up all the transactions, put them in nice, neat bundles.
So instead of chaos, it's like organized chaos.
Exactly. Then we pass those bundles on to,
Let me guess, more workers on the line.
you got it, the consensus nodes. Now, these guys, they're the project managers.
Okay, important job.
They decide the order everything gets processed in.
Not the what, just the when.
Exactly. They keep that assembly line moving smoothly.
I see. So we got gathering, then organizing, and then...
The actual doing. That's where the execution nodes flex their muscles. They do the computations, update the blockchain.
The heavy lifters, I get it.
Spot on. But of course, we need to make sure no one's cutting corners, right?
Right, because this all sounds great. But how do we know it's secure?
That's where Flow's design really shines. It's not just splitting the work, it's making sure everyone's accountable.
Okay, so it's not enough to just, like, have different roles. There's got to be some checks and balances.
Exactly. And that's where those papers you mentioned come in.
Right.
2002.07403v1.pdf. That one particularly, it gets into the weeds of.
Okay, so hit me with it. What are the security features?
Two main things. One, it's punishable.
Punishable. Okay, I like the sound of that.
Every node, they have to put up a stake. Think of it like a security deposit.
Got it. Made of cryptocurrency, I assume.
You know it. And if they try to cheat, try to game the system.
Bye, security deposit.
Exactly. Gone. So the stakes are high, literally.
I see. So there's real risk involved. What's the second thing?
It's also recoverable. Even if someone does try something sneaky, Flow has ways to catch it, correct it.
So it's like, even if someone messes up, the system can, like, self-correct.
Exactly. It's designed to be tamper-proof, or as close as you can get.
Okay, that makes me feel better. But how does that actually work in practice? Give me an example.
Slashing challenges, for example.
Flashing challenges.
Yeah, so let's say one node thinks another node is trying to pull a fast one.
Okay, there's always one, right?
Always. So they issue a challenge, and if they're right, bam, the bad node gets penalized.
Their stake gets slashed.
Slashed. So everyone's watching, everyone else keeps them honest.
It's like a built-in neighborhood watch. I like it.
That's a great way to put it. And there are other safeguards, too.
Like what?
Missing collection challenges, for one.
Missing collections. Those are the bundles, right?
Exactly. So the collectors, they can't just disappear with a bunch of transactions.
Right, because then what?
Exactly. Throw the whole system off. So this makes sure they deliver on their promise. Or else...
Or else slashed.
You got it. Accountability all the way down.
I'm liking this more and more, but I gotta be honest, one thing still kind of bugs me.
Sure.
The verification nodes, the ones that double-check the work. What's to stop them from just being lazy?
You see, now you're thinking like a blockchain architect. That's the million-dollar question.
Right, because it'd be easier to just say, yep, looks good to me, than actually do the work.
Precisely. And that's where Flow gets really clever. They use something called spuckers.
Spuckers. No, I feel like I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah, it's 2023 082.pdf goes into it. It's pretty wild stuff.
Okay, so remind me, Spoker Sankers.
Yeah.
What are they and how do they solve this verification problem?
Spucker sinkers, it stands for Specialized Proofs of Confidential Knowledge.
Catchy.
Right. And it's this whole cryptographic thing. It lets you prove you did the work without actually revealing what you checked.
Hold on, wait. How can you prove you did something without showing what you did? That's like magic.
It is kind of like magic, but cryptographic magic.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Explain.
So basically, Flow uses these things called execution traces. Think of it like a fingerprint.
Okay, every transaction leaves a fingerprint.
Exactly, and it's unique. You can't fake it.
So the verification nodes, they check the fingerprints.
In a way, yeah, they use those fingerprints, those execution traces, to generate their SPOFI.
They're proof that they did the thing.
Exactly, and the best part is they don't have to share the actual calculations, just the proof.
Okay, so it's secure and efficient. I like it. So Flow is like super secure then.
It's designed to be, yeah, every node has skin in the game, and these spoke a case keep everyone honest.
This blowing my mind, I gotta say. This is why I love these deep dives.
Right. Who knew blockchain could be so fascinating?
Okay, so we've gone pretty deep on the tech here, but for our listener who's like, okay, but what does this all mean? Okay, so we've gone pretty deep on the tech here, but for our listener who's like, okay, but what does this all mean?
It's about potential, right? Like, we've been hearing how blockchain is going to revolutionize everything.
Right, from like finance to gaming to...
Everything. But it never quite gets there.
Yeah, it's always just around the corner.
Exactly. And a big part of that has been, well, you guessed it, scalability.
Right, because if it can't handle the users, what's the point?
Exactly. But Flow, they're actually building for that future, for that scale.
So you're saying Flow could be a game changer, like actually make those what-if blockchain dreams a reality.
That's the idea, yeah. Imagine, like, playing a game and you actually own your in-game items.
Okay, now that's something I can get behind, owning those digital goodies.
Right. And you can trade them, sell them, the whole 9 yards.
That's always been the promise, but it's always felt, I don't know, kind of theoretical.
And that's what's exciting about Flow. They're not just talking about it, they're building it.
They're building the infrastructure for, like, millions of users.
Millions, even billions, potentially.
It's like, it reminds me of the early internet, you know?
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Like before anyone knew what it was going to be, and then boom, everything changed.
And that's what's got everyone so excited. It's like the Wild West. Anything is possible.
And Flow is attracting some serious talent, some really cool projects.
It's buzzing, that's for sure.
So for our listener who's like, all right, I'm sold, what do I do now? Any advice?
Dive in. That's what I'd say. Go down the rabbit hole. Explore.
Yeah, there's so much to learn, so much to see.
Check out the projects, read the papers, get your hands dirty.
Because who knows, maybe you'll be the one to build the next big thing.
Exactly. This is still early days. We're all just figuring it out as we go.
Well said. It's been awesome diving into Flow with you. Thanks for joining me.
Anytime. Always a pleasure to geek out about this stuff.
And to our listener, thanks for coming along for the ride. We hope you learned something new, got inspired, maybe even a little mind blown.
That's what we aim for.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and stay curious.
See ya.